Peace. It's your boy G-Rock, C&D Coalition. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here checking out heritagehiphop.com. You need to be doing that too. 100.
What we're gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Karev. Heritage Hip Hop is in the building, and you can't be hip hop without knowing hip hop came from somewhere and it inspired you to be where you are right now. Introduce yourself to the people.
G-Rock, C&D Coalition, 40 plus years in the biz. Seen them all come through, seen them go, seen them come back. I ain't never went nowhere though.
That's what I'm talking about. That's called consistency and elevation of foundation. So let's talk about foundation, because foundation is something that a lot of people argue about when it comes to hip hop today. It seems like everybody gets mad at the newer generation of hip hop for being disrespectful to the elders. And a lot of us who are in the middle say they're not really disrespected, they're not real taught. Right. So we want to bring you here and say thank you for coming on to teach the people about foundation and what it is that hip hop means to you.
Well, hip hop changed my life, literally, you know. Just changed my life, man. I've been in it so long, it became my life. You know, before hip hop, it was, you know, the funk. Back in Plainfield, New Jersey, you know, coming up in my teens, you know what I mean? And I did have a chance to go out on the West back in '78. I went out in the West and witnessed the reruns, you know, the pop locking and all that, did all of that. Did shows, contests, won a lot of contests. Came back in '79 and just melded right into the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? DJ, hip hop, break dancing, graffiti, I did it all, you know. So it means culture to me. It means lifestyle. It changed my life, so I continue to trek on down that road that it gave me the platform to do. You know what I'm saying? Never changed it.
That's deep. I want to stop you there because hip hop is an overarching thing. Like when you talk about hip hop, it's like talking about swords. You have katana blades, you got wakahashis, you got the Excalibur. It's so many things that accomplishes the weaponry of art. So,
Indeed.
Being that you say you come from the beginning, let's talk about the overarching thing in hip hop and bring it down with MCing being last. Hip hop traditionally is visual first, right? So we have the culture of graffiti, then we have the culture of b-boying, then we have the culture of breaking, then we have the culture of the words and the production. Talk about the visual of hip hop and how it impacted you first, since hip hop came to you. Hip hop wasn't there when you first came out.
Right.
So how did it look? How did it feel? How did it smell? Or what attracted it to you?
Like I said, I embraced the whole, you know, thing, but you know, it first came as a word, you know, a form of speech. You know what I'm saying? A beat. They used an instrumental to emphasize the track, and you rapped over to the beat, and it kind of, you know, it kind of got me, you know, enthused, and I was like, wow. He's talking over the beat, but he's rhyming, you know, and all that stuff sounds the same at the end. It was kind of cool. So, you know, being I came from a background of urban dance, when I was out on the West, it kind of fit, you know what I'm saying? The body was moving, but when I got back here, I started speaking out of the mouth. You know what I'm saying? I caught it right away and wrote my first rhyme, which was 10 pages, you know what I'm saying? Back then, we didn't have hooks and all that stuff there, you know what I mean? So it was like write till you can't write no more. So I was so, you know, excited about it. You know, I just kept writing, man, and you know, I'm still writing today.
Yeah.
You know, I feel the same way. I feel the same love for it. I just don't mind errors and you know, and gimmicks and stuff like that there, man, but you know, remember the core principles of hip hop, you know, like you said, breakdance, the DJ, graffiti writer, and the MC. That's the core principles that I still go by today.
I think the thing that makes hip hop endure is that you could be introduced to hip hop in so many different ways. See, back in the day, it was Motown, disco, funk, blues, rock and roll, even ragtime.
Yeah.
Those were types of music where you weren't really introduced to it in a multitude of ways. It was music and rhythm. But hip hop was ripped jeans. Hip hop was putting your name on a wall or on a train. Hip hop was even how you tilted your hat. You know, people call that, you know, pimpmanship. But really, when you tipped your hat, you were representing your block in certain places where you came from.
Right.
So when you say that the word hit you, yeah, of course, because you rhyme. But I know hip hop hit you with, this is new. Now see me. How did that newness attract the words to come out of you rather than inspire you to create?
Well, I said the word came first because I heard it on the radio. You know. Okay. All of the culture came next. You know what I'm saying? You remember I said I fell in love with culture.
Right.
And that was the way that we dressed, the way that we talked. That came after the word initially came in all of the fashion and culture, the way we walked, the way we danced, slang words, you know, we created, you know, the slang words and all that. So it was a whole plethora of stuff that came in, man. It was like, as soon as the word came in, they like, all right, here's the rest. You know, and it all came in, and guess what? I was up there, one of those guys like, picking it up, and, you know, I did it all, you know what I'm saying? So it all came in as a rush, you know, like, you know, as they say, Public Enemy used to say, bum rush. It all came in a bum rush at all one time. I mean, some people embraced the rap, some people embraced the graffiti.
Right.
Some became DJs off the cuff. Well, I was a GD before that. That's, you know, something else. But, you know, so far as hip hop, you know, I embraced every single one of them because I thought that, that was hip hop, all of it. So I embraced all of them at the same time, and you know, it was a rush to me, man. It was like a high that, you know, you ain't need to puff on no blunt for. It was just a natural high that just went in, it soaked in, and I absorbed it, you know.
Do you think that's what makes hip hop today so questionable? Is that now people have glorified only one lane to it, and people only pick that one lane to follow?
Yes. I know that the MC is the entertainer.
Right.
You know, you always have the MCs. You go back to the lead singers, even of a group. That's the person that stands out in the front. But it's all part of the culture. You know, I love the culture. I don't just love MCing, DJing, graffiti, and breakdancing. I love the culture. The way we talk, the way we walk, the way we write, you know what I'm saying, the way we excite, you know, this is what you gotta do, man. I mean, rap is what we do. You know, rap is what we do. The culture is how we live. You know, KS1 said it best. You know, culture is a lifestyle. If you ain't embracing the lifestyle, to me, you ain't hip hop. You know, you can't just rap and like, yo, you know, we making a ton of money. No. If you hip hop, you hip hop. Like you said in the beginning, it's that feeling, you know, the way you do it. You know, when you see it, you see the clothes we wear, you know, see the garments, you know, we create. It's all hip hop. It's all good for me. So,
I think, but see, what you said is the key element to why I say there's a lot of people who are participants in hip hop and not a lot of artists in hip hop.
Yep.
Because I'm not saying you have to draw on the wall to be an MC. I'm not saying you got to break dance to be a good DJ. I'm saying the way you incorporate something into your life is not the learning of it, it's the love and the action of it. We were taught one time in school, which was the biggest lie. Pay attention. It was the biggest lie. One of the lies that we learned in school was read this thing over and over and over, and then now you know it. That's called studying.
Right.
That's not called studying. That's called forced knowledge. And if you force yourself into something that you're really not into, don't want to do, you're not going to retain it. But if it's something that you can use practically every day and put your hands on it and get it, now it makes the culture and the person more alive because it's breathable. So being a great MC can come from being a good dancer because now you know how to count beats, count steps.
Right.
Being an artist can teach you how to be a good DJ because now you know how to use your hands.
Right.
That's called fine motor skills.
Right.
That's the education term. So hip hop is very educational through action and through study or practice. Nowadays, a lot of people just do and don't practice?
That's an excellent segue. I always say this when I talk to people. I don't know if I said it to my good long-time friend Java Bomani, but I always speak to people that go back from where I came from. One question I always ask them is, how can somebody be whack? How can somebody be whack? Because when you hear these songs, when you first heard a hip hop song, all right, it was a ton of them, and you had your favorites and everything. That was the dopest on this guy's the dopest MC, and now you getting into hip hop, you want to write rhymes and make records and stuff, and you write some garbage, man. I mean, come on. It's like, I just can't see it. You know what I'm saying? I never did it. I embraced it. I followed protocol. In my time, you had to be dope. That was just it. So I still follow that to the day. Today, no disrespect, but they don't put a lot of passion and a lot of love into what they're doing. They're just looking at the end result. But hip hop is a culture, man. I defended it my whole career. You listen to all my music, that's all I do. Defend hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no gimmick artist. You see me, you listen to all the stuff that I do, man. I just defend it. I love it. You hear it. You feel it. It's stuff, and you hear it coming from me. As well as my music. So, yeah, I'm a little firm on that. I'm like, if you're gonna do hip hop, man. Embrace the whole force of it, and you will love it to a point that you never felt before. It's a thing that you never felt before. And guess what? You can never be whack.